Isn't it good to know that the Christ that you serve is the Christ who knows how to manage crises? You would not be here today if he did not know how to manage your crises. You would not be alive. You would not be clothed and in your right mind. You wouldn't be sitting here looking as good as you look if he did not have the ability and the know-how to manage your crises. I know you think that you got here by yourself. That ain't true. I know you think that you survived because you slick, you strong, and you smart. That's a lie. The reason that you came out of the hellish situations that you were in is because you have a God who is better than Olivia Pope. He is a master crisis manager. Touch your neighbor and say, I know that's right, because he's managed a whole lot of crises for me. There's some stuff that I thought I couldn't get out. I didn't see how it was going to get fixed. I didn't see how it was going to change. But just in the nick of time, I learned to let go and let God. And what I couldn't figure out, I found out that he had already. Is there anybody in here who could have picked up your pen and written the song through many dangers, toils, and snares? I have already come. Why'd you come? It wasn't because you were smart, slick, or strong, but it was his grace. Somebody ought to shout his grace. He is the master crisis manager. And my brothers and my sisters, when you look at that text, you will find out that crisis and conflict spawn creativity. God gives you a burst of creativity. You figure out that you got to do something. Somebody ought to shout, got to do something. Have you ever been there? Is there anybody besides me? You didn't know what to do. You just knew that you had to do something. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. I believe I'm talking to about 15 of y'all who've been in a place where you couldn't kill nothing, wouldn't nothing die, but you knew you had to do something. Didn't have the answers, but you knew you had to do something. Watch it. You knew that something had to be done and knew you couldn't look to nobody but God and you. Touch your neighbor and say, you got to do something. Got to do something. And I would like to further suggest to you that that two things are revealed in the time of crisis and conflict. The first thing that is revealed is the resolve of man. In other words, when we are faced with dilemmas, we are forced, watch this, to decide whether or not we're going to do something. And if we are going to do something, we have to then decide what the something is that we're going to do. The decision to do something is called vision. Somebody ought to shout vision. Yeah, when you decide to do something in a time of crisis and conflict, when you begin to ponder possibilities, when you begin to think about ways out, that's called vision. And according to Proverbs 29:18, vision has the power to inspire people to survive. You know what it says. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. They waste away. They disintegrate. They die. But conversely, where there is vision, people are encouraged to believe in the possibility of better, and they are encouraged to hope for the eventual manifestation of what it is they've seen in their vision. In other words, if I can see it in my mind, then I can have it in my reality. That is the power of conflict. That is the power of confusion. That is the power, my brothers and my sisters, of the things that we go through. The power of crises. That crises force you to begin to envision better than where you are. Can I tell you that that's the reason some of you have not blown your brains out? Can I tell you that's why some of you have not slit your wrists? And even if you tried it, it did not work. Can I tell you that's why some of you have refused to take a bottle of pills and check out of here? Because the conflict and the crisis caused you to get a vision of better. And the reason that you are still moving, living, and having your being is not because things are better now, but you are convinced that things are going to get better in the future. I need to see if I'm preaching to somebody in here who has a vision of better. I'm going through hell now, but I see better. I'm being challenged now, but I see better. I'm having a hard time right now, don't have what I want, but I see better. Seems like I'm troubled on every hand, been beaten up on every side, but I see better. The reason I keep going, the reason I don't give up, the reason I wake up every morning, because I understand that if it didn't happen yesterday, it just means that it can happen today, and that my worst season is about to get better. Who am I preaching to who's hoping for better? Wave at me. I said I wasn't going to holler today, but I need to know where my better crowd is. Touch your neighbor, say, I got vision. I got vision. I got vision. That's why I haven't given up. That's why I haven't thrown in the towel. That's why I haven't thrown up my hands. That's why I haven't walked away. That's why I haven't gotten out of the fight, because I have a vision for better. Somebody shout better. If I can see it in my mind, I can have it in my reality. I think I need to get you to prophesy to somebody beside you. I promise this is the last time I won't have you bother your neighbor, at least for the next few minutes. But tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, whatever it is you see, don't give up on it now. Whatever God has shown you, whatever God has told you, whatever God has promised you, whatever God has delivered to you, don't you dare give up on it now, because better is on its way. If you want to be a prophet, touch 3 people, tell them better is on its way. If you can see it, you can have it. If you can conceive it, you can receive it. Somebody shout better. Got a vision. I got a vision of better. I have a vision of better.